Hello everyone, welcome back. So we have a API which will store the student information, but it does not have any validation in it. So if I try to trigger, it automatically store the information, but we need to put some validation in it. Let's go back to our project. First thing which we need to do, add the Spring Boot starter validation. And step number 2, add your validation message to your DTO. The DTO which you are using, it's a student.java. So we have to apply some validation for first name, last name, and as well as email. For first name, I'm adding minimum 3 character, maximum 8 character, and the message enter between 3 to 8 characters. And most important thing, we are using javax.validations. Let's apply some validation for last name as well. Minimum 3, maximum 5, enter between 3 to 5 characters. Let's add validation for email. You just annotate with the @email annotation. So which is coming from javax.validation. So whenever you provide email, it has to accept the @ symbol. Next step, enable the validation in our controller. This is our REST controller and this is a method which will store the information. So here we have the request body. Before the request body, we need to enable the valid. So the moment you provide valid, which means whenever this request body triggered in the swoop request, it will validate this information whether available in the request. Let's start our application. Right click, run as Spring Boot app. The application started and it's running on port number 8080. Let's go back to Postman. So let's try to modify the information. The first name must be 5 to 8 character, right? So I'm going to provide something like AJ, which is not a valid one. Let's see what's going to happen. Okay, so we got the error 400 bad request, but still the error triggered, but the error message saying 400 bad request, but we need to provide a proper exception message, not just like a bad request. We need to tell the user what went wrong. So to do that, we're gonna use the response entity exception handler. The reason, we are gonna modify the response which we are sending back to the user, so we need to override some method in the response entity exception handler. So what is the purpose of it? Whenever some validation error triggers, which means the method argument not valid exception. So whenever something wrong with the request, it's invalid, right? So the exception will occur that time, method argument not a valid exception. That is a class which will trigger the exception. So let's try to override the method. I'm creating a new class to handle the exception. So let's create a new class here. And I'm going to call them as a global exception handler. Global exception handler. And I'm going to extend response entity exception handler. Response entity exception handler. We are trying to override the method inside the response entity manager, the method which we are trying to look for, handle method argument. Handle method argument not valid. This is a method which we are looking for. This is a method we are trying to override. So let's override the method here. So override implement method, handle method argument not valid. This is the method I'm going to override. Let's click OK. And now one most important thing, it has to apply for all the controllers. So I'm going to provide annotation for controller advice, so which will apply for all the controller available in your application. Since it's updating response entity, we are going to override the response. So let's create a hash map here. I just created a hash map here. So which contains the timestamp and the status. The next thing we need to get all the error messages. So we're going to list of string, and this is going to be the errors. So how are we going to get the error messages? using the exception. Exception dot get binding result dot get field errors, and then we open the stream, and what we're gonna do, we're gonna map it. So we all know map is a person who will accept the functional interface as an input, right? That functional interface is going to be a function. So what I'm gonna do is here, I'm gonna pass the input. I'm gonna write the lambda expression here. X dot get default message. I'm passing the object and I'm retrieving the message. I'm passing the exception and receiving the exception message, and then finally I'm collecting it back as a list. Now we have a list. So now the next thing which we need to send the response back, and we have a body, right? So let's update some other information inside the body, because that is the map which we created for timestamp and the status. And let's add one more information to the same map, which is nothing but errors, and that data is going to be errors, which is nothing but the list of a string. And then what we're gonna do, we're gonna return the new response entity. New response entity, which is gonna accept the body, headers, and the status. So we are done with the exception handling. Let's start our application. Right click and run as Spring Boot app. Our application started. Let's go back to the Postman and we'll try to trigger the same request which contains some error. Click send. See what happened. Enter between 3 to 8 characters. First error triggered. Let's modify this. Okay, and last name must be 3 between 2. And again I'm going to try something like A B C D E F and trigger. Again errors, enter between 3 to 5 characters. Let's try something else. What if I in the email I didn't provide something improper in send? See, please enter email in a proper format. What will happen if you provide a proper format? Now everything is in a proper manner. Let's click send. Yes, we got success. So we applied validation. Let's go back to our application, and here let me show you something. So here in the student.java, we just applied size and email, only these two, right? But there are a lot of other things that are available. If you want to know, you can go here under the Java validation. You should see a lot of things: email, future, max, min, negative, not empty, not null, past which is for the date operations, I mean date fields. And there are a lot other things are available. Make use of it. And if you have any questions, just leave a comment. Thank you.